alongside. I don't know if I'd assist much, but I'd be watching.
-8, so that'd be 21.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and give me that strength as well, Annie.
Okay.
Now, Klaus, you are aware that despite your best direction here, you believe that the statue will not fit through the door itself. Even if you turn it sideways, it's just not going to happen. And as the land itself begins to kind of form up, you realize that it's lifted the entire platform. So we're talking this whole thing here.
Move my token back over there.
This whole thing gets lifted.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's worked so far. I'll just, when we get to that point, I'll just, you know, tell the ground to split the doorway open.
Things begin to change in your environment. This is not as simple as just commanding it to shatter the stone. You're doing major damage to this building. The foundation of it is crumbling beneath you, as you've commanded the flesh to pierce through the stone and lift this object, and it does so. It seems to carry it, and you can see bits of plate and marble begin shifting away in various directions as it begins to carry itself out.
Can you give us a ride?
I'll do my Ubers here.
As you make your way to the door, and it follows behind you, you see it before you. It's not quite tall enough, and it's not quite wide enough. Going through here would certainly damage it. What's your vision?
It's probably going to be just about the entire cathedral falling apart and becoming a pile of rubble rather than the structure we see standing before us.
I have an idea to take out the doorway a bit more clean than just splitting it in half. If you could take a step back, but I can't guarantee that the rest of the building won't come down soon after.
At this point, this is the only thing left of value in here. Do we really care about the building?
Fair. And I'm gonna cast Disintegrate, and I'm gonna start working and taking out the doorway. Or widening the doorway.
I need you to give me a D1000.
Oh,
Fuck
Christ.
You don't expect it at this point.
Should have known it was coming. 98.
All right. Let me pull this up. I wasn't actually sure if you guys were going to get through a legitimate spell outside of Dispel earlier.
What's it be like Fireball? Something not helpful.
It's enlarge.
Enlarge person? Just make the doorway bigger. Worked out, but totally not my intent.
You actually have the one that turns the door into giant butterflies. But since we're in hell, they turn into demon butterflies.
It's the entire building, though.
Their wings are razor blades.
Razor flies.
All right, it's taking a second. I'm putting my computer through hell right now. All right, so you got a 98. Not bad. Not bad. I don't actually know. I haven't seen what 98 does.
Yeah. We'll see now.
It sure is a number.
Okay. All right. 98. Sparks. As you attempt to cast a spell, tiny sparks arc from the caster. Sparks do no damage to the caster or to any other creature. You essentially just jubileed. Just tiny little fireworks.
I'm gonna stop for a second and look at my hand. And then look back to the wall and be like...
That didn't seem to have the desired effect.
That was most certainly not what I had intended to do.
That was from
Maybe.
Furus. Furus' Wild Magic of the Month.
May I try my way now?
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm gonna have to take a look when I get home.
I'm gonna have to crack open my fingers and figure out what's
Yeah,
going
damn it,
on.
what's going on under the hood? Here we go. Got a unicorn in the canooter valve.
Man.
Ah.
Looks like I got a dusty carburetor.
Yeah.
Gotta blow that out before I get
Yeah.
into any more trouble.
You get back home, he's got his hand off and just pinky in his mouth.
Just dust flying out.
I sit back on afterwards like it's nothing.
So do we know Thelsa's actually been an android this whole time?
Actually, there's been a Warforged. Just
That's been the real secret.
That would fuck me all up. If you were a Warforged this whole time, I'd be like, we can't do any of the things we did to your character.
You can't be a half demon. You're a robot.
You don't have a family.
Sure he does. They were manufactured right next to him.
That's why I
Yeah,
wanted to
your
kill them.
sister's a toaster.
Well,
And a brave one at that.
A brave one at that.
she's now a toaster with a curtain rod through her, so it's no good anyways.
That's not how toasters work.
Do you expect a toaster to work after you put a curtain
And you're
rod
not
through?
supposed to put sharp metal objects into your toaster. Come on, what have you been doing?
It was like rounded at the end.
Well, but way to make carbonated beverage come out of my nose. Oh boy. All right.
God
My
damn
bad.
it.
My bad. Okay. Klaus, your image in your head is to break the cathedral. Okay. Sure enough. In your head, you see it as destruction, a snapping of the cathedral, leaving it in rubble. It happens a little differently. You see it not weathering time itself, but as you begin to see this, it takes the first immediate thing in your mind, which is a break. You just need a way out. So as you break it in your mind so you can exit, the floor begins to shift in its own wave, much like you're causing a tear in the building. And you see laps of undulating skin kind of break away from the alabaster, the marble of the floor. And as it begins to split, the walls crack. And the cathedral begins to split in half. Right where you stand, Ulhime, the flesh begins to cause a visible split, and it stretches up onto the ceiling. Blood begins to twist and move up the wall itself before it hardens into this almost calculus or scab. And it begins to break away, causing an open, almost like a container, like cracking a can open. And it begins to part the building sideways. It's causing an angular open from the right-hand side of the building. And you can maneuver down. It moves very slow, but you are definitely in control. It was faster for you, but carrying something of this size takes its time. Not because it wants to, but because it has to. Nobody really knows what the Abyss is. They know that it's so large, and in its make, they know it's a place. They know that there are multiple layers to it, but they don't actually know if it's living. And this is probably the first paramount moment where you realize that this entire realm is alive. This is something. Is Occipitus a place as much as it is a being? Klaus, you shift the building, it snaps, you begin to exit. Where do you take the statue?
The plan for now is to continue back towards the portal. It seems to be the easiest way to get out of here, I suppose.
Now, Klaus, I pose this question to you, just for honesty's sake, and I would really like to know. You know that the only standing positive point in the entire home of Occipitus is the Cathedral of Feathers, and it has stood falling from on high unto this level of the abyss. Some would argue that it is quite durable. You broke it with your will. Do you think that this is going to have any impact on the world, on Occipitus, or even on the material plane?
I think there's potential for that, but at the same time, despite the fact that it's been a bastion of good and a place of evil for so long, it's still out of place. It still doesn't hold the same sort of properties that it normally would in its own environment. I feel like at this point it's more of a monument to the failure and to the past of this place than it is sort of what it is today. So I don't necessarily think it's going to change anything in the outside world. As far as in Occipitus, I believe that it may release the last bit of sort of holy traces of the land.
Sure. I'm gonna deliver unto you a bit of a stain. Controlling the smoking eye and taking control of Occipitus is going to change the very fawn of your person, and breaking what little remains of good in the 507th layer of the abyss is going to stain your person. It's going to mar your thoughts. I'm going to give you a shift in alignment.
Oh boy.
I'm going to shift you to chaotic neutral. You still react very chaotically, but the betterment of the people is not necessarily on your mind. It's been expressed for a while, but you still kind of clutch onto those tendencies. Yeah.
Come to the evil side.
Don't do it.
It's so much nicer here. You know, I'm gonna slap you with your master sword, bitch.
Easier. It's easier, not nicer.
Yeah, it's definitely easier.
But that's not out of game. That's not a hit, you know, right? That's not like it's some kind of major hit. It's just probably going to shift the way that Klaus kind of looks at things as a bit more jaded, and that, hey, that's just balance, right? Like that's just how life works. Okay. So please make the edit. Not like it's tremendously paramount. It's gonna take time. Probably about 2.5 to 3 hours for you to make your way across Occipitus to the portal.
Are we on this skin postural wave thing with him?
Are you riding the statue?
Right, dude.
I asked, but like there was nothing stated, so I didn't know if we were.
Nothing
going with
rose
him
for
or-
you. Nothing rose for you.
I
So
assume we're walking.
you're either walking or you're riding on the base of the statue.
I wouldn't ride on it because I don't want to cause a weight shift to cause the stone to crack.
Okay.
So I would probably, I'd probably be the last one in the line just in case there's anything trying to trail us.
Y'all can walk, you fucking peasants.
I don't want to ride the blood mountain.
Yeah, I'm good.
But seeing that happen, Ulhime will kind of just stop and just watch as the building starts to crumble
Yeah.
slowly.
Yeah. After you leave, that's the forefront of the building itself is probably going to crumble in its wake, leaving this like gigantic mouth of what remains of the building that will not likely stand the test of time. And it's the people that live here, the occupants.
Yeah. As it happens, Ulhime will just kind of have a thought lingering in his mind, like, now the old helm really is gone. That his last place with outside of the domain of protection is gone. since that was where he met him, it's kind of like, I guess it's both a good and a bad thing, where he's kind of like saying like he's kind of accepting that that's what it is now. So yeah, he just kind of slowly walks with his head turned towards the cathedral, just looking at it crumble, and then when he starts seeing it fall, he just continues on walking. And you just hear him mutter to himself, "Goodbye, hell."
Thelsa, what are you doing with this chalice? You've had it at your side now. It's likely that someone would have seen it. Be it Cort or Klaus. Someone likely would have seen this. I don't necessarily know if they would have said anything. Would you guys have said anything? What would you guys have done with all of the other things that you found?
Cort put all the things that he found in his bag.
Everything that we were able to carry.
You can't put all of those things in your bag. Like you have like 4 foot tall by 5 foot wide paintings.
Oh.
So for the books, we would have kept those for sure. The most expensive ones, and at least for me, I guess if Klaus and them wouldn't have taken them,
at least one or two of them. Just I don't think I can carry all 3 naturally.
Cort could.
Yeah, because right now I have the lamp, the lightning amulet, the slightly torn painting, and the statue of Keurig. But those 3 books for sure would have came with us.
All right. The books between themselves, the first, 2 of the books are about 25 pounds and 1 is 20 pounds.
I can carry those, no problem.
Okay.
So I guess if you guys are cool with it, I'll carry the 3 books with the stuff that I found as well.
And you were taking the lamp?
The lamp, the lightning amulet, the slightly torn painting, and the statue of Keurig.
Okay, you're literally walking like the meme. Like, what am I going to do with all of this? It's going to look a little ridiculous. Because the statuette itself it's not too large, but in its size, it's got a lot of either rigid parts that could be torn off or could damage your own personal belongings. The lamp itself is blown glass. It does not seem to be meant for just being stuffed inside of a backpack with various torches and things like that. So you're gonna have to find a way to strap it to yourself, unless you're just kind of carrying this under arm.
The lamp I would hold on to, and probably the statue as well, each in one hand. For the lightning amulet, I would put that on if I can wear it without. If nothing happens, then cool. If something does, then I'll take it off.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll wear the amulet. The slightly torn painting would probably be rolled and then put into, not in the backpack, but kind of fastened like behind my belt loop and the backpack, so it's somewhat pressed and folded. And then it's probably about it. Yeah.
Okay, you're not going to be able to take anything else. Cort, what are you carrying?
Carry my water bottle. And if he's carrying the things, then I would have put the music box in my backpack.
All right.
The tube, I'm assuming, would have been able to fit in my backpack, if not sticking out.
Yeah.
The coiled string would more than likely fit in my backpack.
Sure, that you could, like, honestly, it's not that much. You could probably carry it in, like, your palm.
That's what I'm thinking. And then I have the portrait that I took out of there. So
it's tall.
I have the highest. Yeah, Cort's probably just walking through like this, just holding onto it.
Okay.
Because unless anyone else is going to give him anything, he has the highest strength and he's carrying the least amount of things.
Yeah, I'm just gonna rule it that you guys probably would have seen Thelsa with the cup.
I wouldn't say anything. I mean,
I don't know the approximate worth other than knowing that it's super fancy looking, so I would assume that we'd talk about it at least as a group, because we didn't mention what we found either.
I was gonna ask, is Klaus ahead of us, or?
Yeah,
I'm assuming we'd be right behind him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, he's not like 30 meters ahead, but he's, steady distance.
Alright, then I guess I'll wait till we get back to...
Figured there's no reason to discuss our party trappings inside the fucking realm of hell itself.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So I guess we'll wait. I guess Thelsa could hold on to the books then, if she's able to?
Yeah, I would carry the books.
Yeah.
So I'd have the books
I
in
guess-
my arms or in my bag if it. I don't know if it can carry that much. It's a lot of weight. So
It's going to slow you down.
Two in the arms.
You're going to go down to a 20 on your movement, so it's going to cause you to hustle, but you'll be able to stay up. Like you'll probably have to stay at a bit of a jog the entire time.
I would walk beside her just in case if something did happen. I could at least be a.
Again, like the statue itself isn't moving very fast. It's whatever. It's
Yeah,
It's moving.
it's
We're
moving.
taking
It's like, it's like on like one of those walkways at Universal where it just
Okay.
you slowly go around.
Time passes, the 2 to 3 hours, but you finally arrive at the portal. Klaus, when you will the flesh to push the statue through the portal, it can't.
Can't or won't?
It can't. It seems to move up, and much like a wave rising at the beach, it seems to kind of taper down, and it has to dip. In fact, it's at this point that you realize that where the tear is itself, the land is dipping beneath it. It's doing everything in its power to avoid it. Something about it is causing it to pull away.
Well, I'll sort of turn to the others and ask, are there any suggestions at this point? I frankly didn't expect this.
we could go back through the other side, pick up a cart, and just come back. It only take a few moments.
I suppose you're correct.
It would be nice to drop this shit off.
She's carrying a backpack just loaded with books.
It's just a bunch of books.
Looking like a demonic high school student over here.
This is just for one class, man.
But yeah,
It cost me $1,400.
I would probably step through first then, and then from there, yeah, I would try to see if we have a cart. I'm pretty sure we would have one at the bathhouse because Dugo brought us had to move all this shit.
There's actually a cart outside, just on the side of the building itself. If you recall, they had pushed a cart in, but they removed everything from it. So there is a cart on the outside, but there are no horses to pull it. So you're literally going to have to do it yourself.
That's perfectly fine. I would leave the portal, take all the shit that I have, and then. No, I can still hold on to it. I guess I would just put the statue kind of on the side, like in the back corner, so when I pull up the cart from the stairs, it doesn't like just roll all the way back.
All right,
So I
so
put it to the back already, lift it up.
That's fine.
And then bring it in.
What we're gonna rule, essentially, what's gonna happen is I'm assuming that Klaus is going to have the vision of him, of the land itself lifting it into the cart. The cart is only meant to take so much weight for so long. Remember, you're working with mundane materials. They were carrying like bags of feed. They weren't carrying a statue of Orcus. So
Yeah.
you're probably not going to get more than like 15 feet before you start to see the construction of the entire model begin to break.
I guess, I mean, I don't know if it would help, but if I was to help lift from the back, like the back of the cart, to I guess offset as much weight as possible, or if Cort is able to lift the back to keep it.
I would need.
I'm talking.
We're talking major strength checks.
Yeah.
If you can try, right? Like you can try. I can't stop it. If you guys blow it out of the water, then sure. Ooh. He's blowing all right.
That's the opposite of blowing out. That's taking a fan and holding it up to the ocean.
Because I guess I would. Yeah.
I could try again with a question mark.
Well, you do have a second luck reroll, right?
No, I used that already.
Ooh, Ripperino.
Yeah, my choice would be to wait and try it again if you wanted, but otherwise, thing's heavy.
Well, Cort's just back there doing everything he can to deadlift the ass into this, and you're just like, do I help him? Or
No.
don't
I was trying to figure out if, because I'm going to be pushing the cart forward.
He's just
that's
like,
why.
push with your knees.
So I'm trying to figure out if
Put your lower back into it.
would there be anything else, I guess, to help offset that in any way?
What,
I mean,
exactly?
Unless we knew it was going to be compromised, and we started doing that whole put logs under the cart. At one point, I guess.
Not really. No, there's not. I mean, short of going in and building an entire new cart, and then you don't really know what kind of time frame you're under at this point.
Okay.
And to these guys, like the moment that he walks out of the portal, and he's gone.
Hey, can borrow your Cort?
Few minutes pass. 10 minutes. 20 minutes pass. He's still not back. 30 minutes pass. He's not back. Do you wait?
Shit at this point.
Cort can go look for him. If you guys will hold my painting. my sick poster. I got it signed by Nickelback.
You could also just take it through with you.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Cort would volunteer himself as tribute to go find him.
Okay, do you step through the portal?
Yeah.
Alright, when you step through, you can see that there is a pile of belongings that have been taken through Occipitus. You recognize them. They're all the things that was Ulhime's, including his backpack. He left them immediately. And there is a silhouetted figure standing in the doorway.
Oh boy. Do I recognize the silhouetted figure?
When your eyes focus, yes, you do. It's Ulhime.
Oh, okay.
Ulhime is struggling, pulling a carriage up a flight of stairs. Do you say anything to him about the amount of time that he's been working at this? Do you just walk over and immediately start helping him?
Cort would put down his painting next to his belongings. He's going to walk over and he's going to try and pick it up immediately and bring it into the room.
Give me strength checks, both of you. This thing's not as heavy as it is awkward.
Yeah.
But with your paired strengths, you manage to walk it up the 10 steps. When you finally get it inside, you rest the wheels back down and you drop it. Your hands hurt. Sorry, carriages just aren't meant to be carried. Especially up steps. That's not how carriages work. But you're inside now. You're about 20 or so feet away from the portal.
So, what'd you do for the other 20 minutes?
20 minutes. I just stepped through the portal a few seconds ago.
You... What?
Time works differently there, boy. It's hard to explain.
Huh. I'll go in and tell them, okay? And Cort's gonna turn, still quite confused and not understanding what he means by it's different time. And he'll kind of like stick his head through the portal, see if everyone's still around.
Don't stay like that for long. Your head's gonna age 10 times as fast as your body does.
It takes about 30 or 40 more minutes before you finally see his head peek through, and he looks around. He sees you.
Right. Guys, we got the cart.
At this point, it's been closing in on an hour and a half.
It certainly took you long enough.
Well, when I got there, I helped him pick it up. And he would kind of resurface with his whole body rather than just his head.
Your body begins to itch. Just your body. Being between planes like that two planes at the same time,
Does
it
make
does
you
weird
itchy?
things. It does weird things to people.
It just makes you just itchy.
Your body's literally aging at different paces. He's not wrong. It's like standing in the portal half and half, and then watching you becoming an old man on this side, and still fucking like ripped and young on the other. And oh my god.
Could you imagine that as torture? Just aging one side until it dies,
You just
and
hold
keeping one side on the other side.
the top half of your body into a portal.
It's like, have you seen the images of truck drivers that have been driving their entire life, and you can see where their face is like starting to droop and like wilt from the way that the sun has baked their fucking face? That's sort of what it's like, man.
Except it happened in 4 seconds.
Yeah. So,
Cort would immediately step through, not realizing what he's done, just kind of like, huh. We got the carts back there, so how do we get this there?
Like another 10 minutes, and then you see Ulhime just bring it through.
yep.
Looks to Klaus.
What's
Looks to
particularly
Klaus and Thelsa.
particularly interesting is that who's going to be behind the cart once you get it into hell? Okay, you're behind the cart. Who's with you? Is it just you?
Oh, you mean like for like the... Because, oh, that's right, the time displacement's going to make it move all weird.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. So, Cort and Ulhime is in the rear pushing the carriage. The other two of you are in the front. You're guiding, essentially. You've grabbed onto the horse mount, and you're essentially pulling, or at least trying to guide this thing. It's really fucking hard. It's got 5,000 pounds weight, even if they're giving it everything they've got. So you step through, and for you guys, it takes about 4 or 5 seconds to get the wagon through. But for these guys, it takes about 8 to 10 minutes.
I'm just pushing.
I'm just... Yep.
We're talking,
Just pushing
guys.
it. Just slowly getting there. Knowing that it'll get there. But finally, once you break way, and you feel your arms go through the portal,
We have to, yeah.
something is different. It's no longer going against flesh. You've been pushing it with everything you've had the entire time. Literally been leaning into this. Now, knowing that you can do that, I would like to know exactly what your drag is. What is your push-pull drag?
My drag is 1,300 pounds.
You said push?
Yes.
2,600.
What is your push? Ulhime.
1,300.
Okay. That's your push?
Oh, wait, sorry. Hold on, let me check. Yeah, push or drag, 1,300.
Okay. What is the pull of Klaus and of Thelsa?
Oh boy.
575.
Where are you seeing pull?
It's in your additional.
Go to your
It's-
carry
it's,
weight
uh,
on your
at the
additional
bottom.
Yeah, I
tab.
see drag or push. I don't see any pull anywhere.
It's essentially the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay, then yeah, 650.
Okay. All right.
Drag is pull.
You guys are about to get.
So the way that this is going to happen is that the moment that you guys bound through with everything that you have,
Oh god.
the weight doesn't shift, but the momentum shifts. It's multiplicative.
Oh boy.
And as these gents begin pushing, the moment that they hit the opposite side of the portal, you feel an immediate jet. I need reflexes from the two of you.
We're
Klaus
gonna
and Thelsa.
switch our frog spider. Christy, you'd say that there's a startling difference in muscle mass.
Oh my god, okay. How would you move? Do you fall and let the cart go overhead? Do you roll out of the side?
God, no. I'm basically going to like.
Talk about
Alright,
the
how do I
worst
explain this?
fucking idea.
So if you ever watched like Olympic pole vaulting,
Okay.
you know, like when they first hit the ground with their pole
Yeah.
and they're like straight horizontal, just holding on to that bar for
Okay.
dear life.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
All
I'm
right.
lifting my feet off and hanging on.
All right.
Just like wrap myself around it.
This is on what again exactly?
Whatever I'm using to pull the thing.
It's
I assume there's some kind of lead.
yeah, it's the pole. It's like a 4-foot pole that is attached to the front of this. So you're just gonna clutch. Oh my god. You reflexively throw your body to the lead itself, and it hoists you. Your weight isn't that much, even in your natural form at this point. Thelsa, what do you do?
I would just let it pick me up. If it lifted, I would just let it take me off my feet, but I wouldn't let go of my grip.
Oh!
I wouldn't hold on, but I'd hold on.
So you guys are going to hold on to it.
Yeah. We're going for a ride. We're seeing where it takes
Listen,
us.
I made this mistake once before, and then there were flaming bodies in the lake.
Alright. Alright. Sniper, I'm gonna let you do this. Give me a 10% range. You know, just give me a number on 10. 1 to 10.
45 to 55.
Alright, on 1 to 10. Let's try that again.
Number on 1 to 10?
Yeah, give me a number 1 to 10.
7.
Okay.
Because it's never lucky number 7.
And give me another one.
4.
Okay. Alright, so then let's check those odds, since that didn't come up super terrible. 1d100.
I still think I never want to hear a Dreader in my
All right,
life.
that's
start a sentence with, have you seen the
so
pole vaulting
fucking bad.
competitions?
That's so bad. Oh my god.
Am I getting blamed for this shit?
No, you're not. You're not.
God damn it, Sniper.
No, you're not. God, no, you're not.
This is the shit hits the fan moment, except
Yeah.
for it's Klaus and Thelsa hit the fan.
I love that you're prepared to embrace horrible events. This is one I wasn't expecting. I thought you were gonna be like, I'm out of here, and fucking bolt. I didn't think you were gonna be like, riding this to hell, boys. Jesus Christ. Okay, all
We
right.
escaped from hell. We're riding it all the way back.
I literally,
It's
I told
funny because the
God
way I picture this,
damn it.
the way I picture this is
Holding on to it
Klaus
like,
and
Jesus,
Thelsa.
take the wheel!
the way I picture this is Klaus and Thelsa like slow turn to each other, and like there's like no music playing, right? And then out of nowhere, all you hear is da-na-na, 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 da-da.
So, I told
Highway
myself
to hell, they just grab on.
in my 1d100, I was giving Sniper a chance to broaden the range of
God.
something terrible happening to you. If he would have guessed the 10% chance, it would have increased it by 10% each time. And I started the success rate at 5%. And wouldn't you know it, I said low. 1 to 5 means really fucking horrible things happen to you guys. Look what I rolled.
Fuck yeah.
The minute I got involved, then that one pops out.
Rock and roll, baby. Let's go.
We're going right until we die. You know
I
how it
just
is.
want to point out, minute I get fucking involved.
This is why
I
you're
want
in
to say
jail.
that Will die a spider's death splattered against someone's house.
Ulhime's here to teach you the path of righteousness. Klaus is going to take you down the path that rocks.
I gotta know. Before I roll this, how's it feel to get clapped between Orcus and Weejas? You were trying to sneak, but that what is that line? But that ass so big.
You're close. It's a little off.
Hit me with it.
Oh, Jared, we were trying to sneak into the portal, but the sound of our burning... Oh, man.
Damn, you got it all
I'm
wrong.
trying to
No, I
sneak
can't-
in, but I'm dummy thick, and the clap in my ass is alerting the guards.
The dummy thickness, in this case of Weejas and Orcus, has alerted
Orcus.
Pharasma that you were on your fucking way. Oh, lads. All right.
Sound of my demigods is alerting the plasma. Oh, God.
All right.
Not
so
like this.
generally on fall, so this is going to be momentum based, but this isn't going to be based on a fall because you're not building up that kind of intrinsic speed. This is going to
Not
be a
vertical.
crush, right?
It's
This
horizontal.
is going to be a crush. So typically, when you're dealing with a crush, it's going to be very different. It's dealt in d8s as opposed to d6s. And every time that you take a 10-foot range on a fall, it's going to be based on a d6. And in this case, I try to base it off of weight. Every 100 pounds
Oh my
equals
God.
a d6, but this is going to be d8s because you're driven into a flat force of a wall. I'm going to say that it's going to be 2d8 per 1,000 pound. No, 2d8 per 500 pounds. This is a 5,000 pound statue. It's going to be 4. It's a lot of d8. All right, here it comes.
That's 20 to 8, right?
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
You got this, Will. Max is only 160 damage.
That would kill even me.
You want to know what it does to me?
I want to say, you guys know that half of that 160 will kill him, right?
I know.
I just want
man. Roll it.
I just want to preface this with, I'm not sorry.
Can we get a reaction?
Neither am I.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Like,
You
I've
want to
been
get a
fucking
reaction
waiting
in
for
there?
this for the past
If I can cast Quicken Spell and use it as a swift action, can I cast a spell off?
Of course you can.
All right,
It's
I'm
an
gonna cast
interrupt.
a large person on myself.
Oh my god.
Wait, he did what?
I'm enlarging myself.
God, that
Okay.
does not
While this
sound
is
like a good
happening, though,
idea.
we don't see it because we're still on the other side.
Yeah, we're just pushing.
Oh yeah, you're not going to see
like
anything.
we would
no.
just be coming.
Would we still be pushing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We would just be coming through.
We're still
as
just
the-
like,
as the
all
cart
right,
gets
guys,
shot
we're
out."
gonna keep pushing. Just stand clear. 10 minutes later, as you guys are already fucking gone, it rings through the church halls.
They've
Okay.
been dead for years.
All right. Oh, you guys are going to be really mad at that 5% chance.
Magic.
Oh, you were already fucked. The 5% chance was for something totally different. For something totally different. All right, so what is this going to do for you? How much health are you going to gain?
I don't know.
You get a plus
Not
2
enough.
size to strength, plus or minus 2 to
It
dex.
doesn't give you.
You're not going to gain any health. Okay, so you're just...
Yeah, no, it's just.
No, it was more so just so that I could try and stop it because I weighed 8 times as much as
All
I
right, sure.
currently
All
do.
right, so this is how this is going to work. I'm going to roll this, and courtesy of your rib cage, I'm going to give 3/4 damage to Klaus.
I'll take it.
Here we go. It's a lot of dice, boys.
Oh my god. Will, would you have been dunzoed?
No. No, I actually would have been fine.
80
I would still be conscious.
85 points of damage. Take 85 points of damage, Annie.
Yeah, I'm still conscious, but I'm not happy.
Klaus.
I'm figuring it. It's 64 damage for 3/4.
Would you say this was good aligned damage?
No. This is
Oh, shit.
dumb aligned damage.
No DR. Then.
This is dumb
mean,
aligned
this-
damage.
I consider myself dumb aligned.
Okay,
It's like the
Steve.
next step up from dummy thick.
So wait, would this
I'm
have been
aligned.
avoidable had they just decided not to latch onto the cart?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
we stepped out of the way and let the cart keep rolling, then yeah.
But they were like, nah, we're riding this bitch out. Klaus,
'Cause,
They ride or
yeah,
died
that was
it.
confusing.
give me 2 numbers on a d10, please.
2 numbers
See
on
which-
D10.
See which of your organs are misplaced.
I'm gonna go 3 and 6.
Okay. Very good. Your mask does not break. In fact, it's probably the one thing that kept your face from being smashed entirely.
I'm still a Gripply.
That's right, you are.
That's the only important thing about that's transpired here.
As you're smashed into the wall, the cart destructs on impact.
Mm-hmm.
And as this happens, it begins to fall immediately.
Mhm.
As you had just shifted your body into a large-sized humanoid, and Klaus is holding on at this point in his Gripply form. Klaus, that 5% range was to determine aerially where you're going, what's happening, and what you're hitting. You're definitely hitting the wall. Without fail. This is where most of the damage is going to come from. The mask stopped your face from being this bizarre Picasso painting, luckily. However, there is a stern series of cracks that come from the chest plates of your large-sized humanoid friend, Thelsa. The 5% chance dictated that when the cart breaks upon smashing the wall,
Or your statue.
it fell on top of everything that they took out of Occipitus. Those things that they placed down in an attempt to get everything out,
There goes my painting.
was broken.
Oh,
The
man.
painting destroyed. Both paintings destroyed at this point. The tube was destroyed. The statue.
No, that's still it. I didn't take my backpack off. I just put the painting down.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah, so that the stuff
I
in my
left
bag's
was-
still fine.
The stuff I left is in the Temple of Ouijas. I didn't leave that in Occipitus.
I know.
No, he's saying that it fell on top of it.
Yeah. So those few things that you brought through, the blown glass hurricane lamp is destroyed. That's all done. Here's the real kicker. As the carriage breaks, the momentum causes the statue of Orcus to lean down forward. And as it is far flung, the head of Orcus smashes into the Temple of Ouijas wall and separates from the statue. The pressure of it, this momentum, causes it to kick back, and it rocks off of the backside of the carriage as it falls, falling flatly onto its back. As the two of you step through, you see the chaos in everything that has happened. There it is. The chaos of it all. You have no idea what happened. But everything is bad. The statue of Orcus lies on its back. Head gone, wings shattered to the floor of the Temple of Ouijas. Its stomach split down the center. They don't seem to be moving in this mess whatsoever.
I would, seeing that they're injured, I would cast. I'm going to use 4 charges of my channel positive energy on them.
Okay.
So that's 6 times 4 is 24? 24? Yeah, 24.
Heal 24 points. To your health.
It's 24d6.
Oh, holy shit. Okay. So you're blowing. Okay, gotcha. You're blowing your charges. It's multiple. He's charging multiple here.
So like reverse Thanos snap.
So, Bub,
Yeah.
you know I gotta ask, can I overheal?
God damn you. Your mask
Seeing
did
that
break. I
happen-
lied.
So did your face.
Seeing all the chaos ensue, I would first take the time to make sure that, seeing that they did have like broken ribs and stuff possibly.
Okay.
Using my touch attack, I would essentially like kind of pull into his rib cage, pull up, and then heal with that touch attack at the same time.
Very good. I was
So,
actually
like,
going to ask
reset
you. So you're resetting the bump.
So it's not like I'm just touching it. Like I'm like using divine magic as I pull up and then heal.
So this is on
everything.
Thelsa.
Both of them.
Okay, so
yeah.
Thelsa, he moves up to you, and he grabs up just under the breast, below her, like to the rib cage, and you feel his fingers kind of hit the plate that kind of guards your lower stomach. And as he is holding onto this, he pulls, and you can feel that your skin kind of pull away, but it pulls onto your ribs as well because the muscles are all lined up there. And he begins channeling. You see his eyes begin to change. Your vision is super hazy, but your bones begin to mend back, and you can finally feel a full breath of air. Thelsa, you have no doubt in your mind that you should have died. There isn't on any plane or existence that you should not have died there, that any other person would have died, and you just evaded death in the Temple of Ouijas, no less.
Yeah, it's my home.
Do you see this as a blessing from Ouijas, or were you just given a gift from Helm?
Fuck yeah, you were. 102 gifts on top of a 1d8 plus 6 of a gift, if that's equatable in any way.
For the record,
In the most positive manner.
I'm not going to destroy these because they were given out early on. Everybody got a cure moderate potion from Courier, so that is technically in your backpacks.
As the stone and shit is broken, the statue's kind of like in halves and stuff.
Yeah.
I'll flip the base, like the remnants of the base.
Give me perception
sink
first.
upward.
Give me perception.
Oh, okay.
You rolled really high on that for the record. For the 2046, you definitely got above average.
Yeah. But I only have 2 uses left, so.
7 6s.
27.
Ulhime, looking at pretty much everything that you've worked for, the last 3-4 hours at this point have mostly been for nothing. You know, given some time and the spells, you could probably repair it, but you feel like it's been for naught. And as you peer on, kind of kicking through the rubble at everything, something looks very bizarre to you. The statue itself split centrally, like a vertical rip from the gut to the neck, all the way down.
Evenly?
Yes.
That's weird. Seeing as that happened, I would look around because being a dwarf and a palmet, fuck it. Plus 2 that. Stone cunning. Boom. Racial. Throwing in there.
Sure.
That wouldn't make sense unless knowing how stone and stuff's crafted, unless it was designed to do that, which in most cases this was meant to be a hiding spot for something.
That's correct.
So I would start checking the inside lining then.
Do you move up on top of the statue to kind of pry it apart like a Kinder egg of sorts?
Yeah, if I saw it like evenly split, knowing that upon closer inspection that it was meant to do that, yeah, I would start looking. I would start rubbing the lining on the inside, everything that I could to see what.
Your vision is obscured, but you think you could probably part it enough with a little bit of strength.
I would.
Give me a strength check.
I'll use Might of the Gods to make this even cleaner if possible. To just tear it like. 26.
Very good, actually. And you split this thing like a nesting doll. And as such, inside is in fact something. You can't make out what it is. It doesn't seem to be nebulous. It's not fluid in nature, but it's definitely wrapped in cloth.
I will pick it up and unwrap it.
When you unwrap it, it is a mahogany case.
Stay a while and listen.
Something that certainly would not be found in the Abyss.
It's a cigarette box.
It is not.
More sweet dice box. Keeping this for tomorrow's game.
This is a big box. It's probably 2 feet wide by probably 2 feet
So it's
deep.
a small chest almost.
Yeah, but it's about 5.5 feet long. So from top to bottom, it's about 5.5 feet long, 2 wide by 2 deep.
Pulling it out,
Okay.
I would let's see if there's any locks on it.
It's wax sealed.
Okay, then just take my fingers and.
Sure. You're able to remove the wax from the mahogany box itself, and do you open it?
Yes.
There is inside something else that is wrapped. It's wrapped in cloth. Similarly to this wrapping that's actually very near the statue at this point. When Thelsa's body struck the wall, you flung the cup.
Yep.
So the chalice just was sent spiraling. It's not actually destroyed. Luckily enough, you didn't put it in your backpack.
Yep, nope.
I would have broke it. So because you didn't put it in your backpack, you managed to save the chalice.
I had 1 book in my hands and the other 2 in my backpack. I don't know how books sunder when they're crushed. I guess that's for you to...
They would need incredible repair at this point. I mean, they are leather bound, so you likely did some major defacing, if not completely destroyed.
Upon pulling out the secondary cloth wrapped item,
Yep.
do I notice that the actual box itself is substantially smaller than what it was actually containing? Like it's like a book of some sort?
It's not a book. This is not a book.
Okay.
This would be the most bizarre book. It is smaller than the box itself, obviously, because it's fit inside, but
Yeah.
you don't think that that's the case. When you go to grab onto this to kind of remove it from it, your fingers wrap around something that seems to be like a vertical pole.
I would pull to see.
Do you pull the cloth away?
I would pull a cloth away, but I'm like trying to pull this out as well to see if I
Sure.
can, I guess, unravel it while I'm pulling it out.
When you begin to pull this from the box and the cloth begins to fall away, you find this very bizarre shape. It's... Let me just describe this. A black iron manacle was split in the center. So picture the thickness of a manacle, probably wrist length. It's been split in half. And at the top and the bottom, it rests. Around it is 4 poles of black iron, and suspended in the center, spinning, is an obsidian stone. A large obsidian stone. It's not tethered to anything at all.
But it's like hovering in the center of it.
Yes, it is.
Well, okay. I wouldn't need to do I don't need to do anything to know that this is magical. But seeing the manacles, is there any way to figure out what the hell this thing is?
You have no idea.
I would touch the center of the manacles to see if it moves in any way. Like
you touch the manacle itself, or do you touch the stone?
The stone, sorry, but I wouldn't like poke it. I would just see if it has any capability of moving outside of that centerpiece.
So you just go like that?
I would have like my thumb press on it and have like my fingers on the back end, so if it did roll out, I could at least cup it.
Your thumb liquefies. It immediately turns to a gel and bleeds away from your body. Your flesh, whatever touched the stone. Yeah.
Oh wow.
I'm glad I didn't do that.
So yeah, I would pull my hand away.
Willie looks slightly perturbed.
Would I feel that though from the metal gauntlet?
Likely, yeah. It's incredibly painful. I mean, you just caused your thumb to liquefy, so you probably took in the ballpark of like 8 to 20 damage.
Okay. Well, okay. So is it the whole thing? Because I didn't like jab it through. It was
no.
like,
It's just the
like the front part of it.
Literally the entire digit.
Oh well. So as I guess that happens, Ulhime will kind of like pull back on. Ugh! And he looks down at his gauntlet to see that the thumb piece is missing. I will cast Detect Magic on this to see what kind of enchants and stuff we are looking at.
Give me a Fortitude save.
You get fucking flashbang.
The DC is 36.
Okay. If it kills me, I'm supposed to be immune to that.
You are not killed. You are blinded for 2 hours.
You just got flashbanged.
The next 2 hours, you have no sight.
Fucking shit, man.
Yep.
Give him a break.
Hardcore flashbang.
I got a level 5 spell that'll do it permanently if you want.
Look, if that's what you're into.
Technically, you can undo his blindness.
Can you undo a blindness with a blindness spell?
No, there's literally a spell that's like undo blind.
Oh yeah, no, I don't have cure blindness. I just have blindness.
Sun had a potion that could do it.
Mm-hmm.
But Sun doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, you
seeing that happen
with the heal and with her, like he moved your bodies, right? Like he moved you to kind of pull you back too. So you're probably just like, holy fuck, that was awful. Like it's a terrible situation.
Then he's fucking with this tiny thing and just went, oh, my thumb. Oh god, my eye.
Oh wait, I don't feel physical pain, so my thumb would have melted, and then I would just look up and be like, I can't see. So you'd see Ulhime's like the golden glow in them. You just see like this weird like black smoke form, and then you just kind of see like a black cloud forming out of his eyes, and he goes, I can't see anything.
Am I like conscious for all of this?
Yeah,
or...
totally.
Okay.
You didn't go, like, you didn't fall unconscious, so you're definitely are. Maybe winded, injured, but not unconscious.
Luckily, you're not your old
holding
man body.
Holding the item. Ulhime would kind of, I guess, kind of like listen and go, Klaus, this item, it's blinded me.
I noticed. You shouldn't look at highly magical things with detect magic. FYI.
Noted, but
Bet you won't do that again.
I'm gonna need some help.
I'm aware. Let me take a look.
Here,
Don't look at it
I
with
wouldn't
detect
suggest
magic.
looking at this. Put it away for now. I'm not sure what it is.
Fuck
Let
that.
me
I'm
help
gonna
get
take
it
a look
back to the
closer at it.
bathhouse.
Quick touch it.
I would also like to examine it, not with detect magic, but just
I'm
kind
gonna,
of take a look over it.
Grab the obsidian with your hand in.
I'm gonna toss a knowledge
False.
arcana into the ring. Doesn't tell me anything.
No, you've not heard of anything of this. You know that there's some kind of magic at play, but it's suspended, like as it's on its own like floating disc of sorts, or like there's a mage hand at play, but it seems to almost continually rotate. Wherever you move the manacles, it seems to stay, right? It doesn't ever seem to like, whoa, and catch up later. It just stays in there like it's trapped inside of a cage.
Were either of these 3 books on Orcus by chance?
10% chance. Give me a 1d10 here. Let's go. Give me number 1 to 10.
I'll give you a 4 because it's always 4.
Until it's 9.
Yeah, it's
Negative.
not a 4. Okay. I just kind of look it over and see if I've seen anything like it before. Not that I would ever think I've read anything about Orcus, but what do I know?
You can try. You could try. Give me a knowledge.
I have Arcana.
Yeah, you can try. Also, Ulhime.
Yeah.
Give me a knowledge religion. It's a hard check regardless for everyone.
I'm gonna re-roll that.
Negative.
We
Nothing.
have two re-rolls?
Yes, we do.
Alright, I'm using my last one.
Okay.
Go for it.
That's as good as I'm gonna get, I guess.
Better than what happened to me.
All right. Okay. Nothing.
That's never fucking good. That's the fucking worst.
Ulhime is still kind of having a hand extended, waiting for someone to help him.
Jacob, that's very close.
I suppose I will take Ulhime's hand and attempt to guide him. I guess we're gonna go back to the bathhouse now, is my best assumption.
I'd slowly put the manacles back in the box and I'd carry it with me because I don't really want the one that can't see or the one blind to be,
So you're going to
fondling
carry
them.
the mahogany box then?
Yeah, I'd put the manacles back in the box
All
because
right.
I figure they came from there if they should stay there until we have to take them out for some reason.
Do you take the book as well? Or
Yeah.
books even?
Yeah, I would
Right.
take the books, and I'd go and retrieve my goblet as well.
All right.
Bub, how broken was the painting?
It's gone, dude. Like there's no retrieving it. Of the few things that were probably salvageable, the necklace, because Ulhime was wearing it.
That's yeah. And then whatever I had in my bag is what lived. Okay. Not Klaus. That's not even my character. Cort, Jesus Christ, is going to follow them. My brain just fucking stopped.
Is that a Cort, comma, Jesus Christ?
Yeah. Cort,
Okay.
aka Jesus Christ.
You guys are gonna head back. You're gonna go back to
Bathhouse.
the bathhouse. It's been minutes at best.
Yep.
Minutes.
I would, I guess, stand outside until the blindness went away. I mean, there's not really much else I could do.
I stand
Just a-
outside, staring at the sun.
Stoic dwarf. Standing outside, just
That would be creepy as hell. I just realized
would be,
like,
yeah.
like literally like a pommet, literally just like with black smoking eyes, just like waiting outside the bathhouse. They're like,
Nah, dude. I'm giving you a
yeah,
tin
I
can.
think there's.
If you're gonna be blind temporarily, we're gonna take advantage of it. Take all the help we
no,
can get.
This is how we
He's-
fund the army.
I wouldn't be putting anything on my head if I realized someone was trying to do that, I would
No,
I would
he means
push
that like
him
at
away.
your feet. He's just gonna put a tin can so you're a blind homeless beggar.
Alms for the poor.
I don't think anyone with black smoking eyes is gonna be getting donations.
You don't know their struggles.
I'm sorry. There's possibly demonic, emanates emitting from you. Here's a copper. Get some help.
Bless
Look,
your
man,
soul.
you don't know what the drugs of the time are like. You don't know what they do to your body.
Temporarily
Things get
blinded
hard.
by superior magic.
Things get
copper,
hard,
please.
man.
Things get hard as he's
But
standing out in front of the bathhouse, blind, looking onward.
no, I would probably wait inside. I guess trying to see if anything would help, healing magics or anything like that. If nothing, then I would have to write it out until then.
Yeah, you're gonna have to write it out. Unfortunately, there are no healing magics for you here. Not for this one.
Yeah.
If somebody would have happened to have the ability to cure blindness, it would have failed in this case. You'll be stuck with your blindness for 2 hours until it goes away. And as such, it will wisp away much like smoke leaving a room.
Okay.
Which is great for you.
You kind of see the little golden beads come back. Just
You assume we're watching you.
So to catch everybody up there that happened to miss it, the last 3.5 hours, our players wandered into the 507th layer of the Abyss. The leader, which happens to be one of our players, happened to encourage the land to spit a statue of the Demon Lord Orcus out of said layer of the Abyss. It nearly killed 2 of their allies. And then they cracked open its stomach like a Kinder Egg, pulling out some magical obsidian thing that melted off a metallic finger, causing immediate blindness upon peering in the magical spectrum.
You're welcome.
I would
The fun part? None of it's my fault.
Not this time. You are fucking golden.
Arguably, it's
of
your fault
of
the
all
most.
the times that they say, man, it's all Sniper's fault.
This would have been a lot easier if you were there.
I like Will's argument. This is all your fault because we wouldn't have had to get money to save your ass.
The statue wouldn't have come down if you didn't bring in Celestian and Droxipidus.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
by
True.
proxy,
Fucking Dawnbringer.
everything's your fault.
I told you motherfuckers it was going to end up my fault.
Everything's your fault if you try
Because
hard
it's
enough.
always your fault.
once I get the healing back, I would cast Make Whole my gauntlet again.
Wait, you have make whole?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to tell you that I was gonna do that with the statue.
Okay,
but you're like,
you still
no,
can
hold on.
technically before somebody goes in. If the wall of an entire fucking church is going out, people are like, "What the fuck is going on in there?" And they're
Yeah,
gonna walk in and be
I would,
like, "Holy shit!"
What the fuck happened here?
Where did the statue come from?
After the 2 hours, obviously, I would go back, and I would probably take 2-3 castings of Make Whole, so that way, one, I can fix my thumb
Cort would follow.
with the platinum that's sitting on the ground.
Make Whole?
And then the other part, yeah,
Make whole is
for my gauntlet.
Oh, yeah, well, I mean, okay, because it's a highly magical item, sure, but for like non-magical items, make whole is naturally very powerful. It's way more stronger like than mending. Mending itself is
Yeah.
super base level.
Yeah.
Make
So
Whole
yeah,
is
I would use Make Whole on my thumb and the statue to restore it back.
Okay,
At
it's gonna
once,
take
when
it's
we
gonna
sell
take
it.
you
Do his gauntlet.
it's gonna take you a while with between
that's
mending and
perfectly
make
fine.
whole. Also, if there are any other like higher levels of that, you guys are gonna have some time to prepare for this because it's gonna take a few days. We are gonna do a bit of a time lapse, but
Yeah.
before we time lapse, before I give you more of a chance to peek around at said obsidian stone,
Could-
go ahead.
Could we move the statue before mending it? So it's not being
That's-
fixed at the church.
Yeah, that's
Where are you gonna put it?
In the bathhouse. I don't care. We
You're
could
literally
fucking
going
set
to
it-
you're gonna set
No,
it inside
why
of the bathhouse.
We could
I
set it
would-
up in the middle of our fucking
No.
pool. It would be better than
So-
in the decrepit church of hell.
this is what we're really gonna do because that doesn't make any sense. I'm going to take it to Mabu's Exports, someone
And
who
do
can
that too.
actually move
Thank you.
the product and sell it. Like with
See, I
both
was gonna say we
physical
have them
and
come get it.
actual financial means. I would send it to Mabu's Imports. That way,
what that
when they
one's
find a
for.
buyer, they would take 5-10% a cut for the actual sale.
Yeah.
And then we'd get the rest back. as the gold, or in this case platinum, since it's easier to use, or some sort of writ of credit. That way we can use that to fund the army.
Sure. Okay.
The fucking bathhouse. What is wrong with you?
Knowing
Let's put it in the depression in the ground.
Yeah, exactly. It makes it easier to pick up.
knowing that it was broken, she is probably going to ask for a lower amount, seeing as to how you had to use magical means to remend the object. It's not as pristine and perfect as it was. It's really damn close, and to the untrained eye, you wouldn't be able to tell. But people who are going for subjects of this value,
Collection of this.
occult
Yeah.
followers, they are going to have magical means of determining if anything had happened to it, and they will see, because when you appear in the arcane spectrum, Make Whole itself basically is arcane chains that tether this together. So it's gonna come at a different value. It's probably not gonna be worth 20 to 40,000 like you had thought, but it's going to be a little less.
15.
However, it's still a damn pricey piece, so you can likely expect some coin out of it, just not what you were hoping to get originally. That being said,
Alrighty.
there are also the other pieces there if you wanted to try to fix those, saying that you found all of their remains.
Yeah, whatever we have that's not completely destroyed, I would have worked on with Make Whole, so we can get as much funding as possible. Same thing with the books. I would put them in page order if possible, if they're numbered. If not, then I would slide them together to have them rebound, and all that would go to the Mavu's exports for appraisal from Mavu's wife, and then whatever credit we get from her, that's going to the army, and as well as Jacob's bail.
Okay.
If we can give him bail.
All right. This is where, while it's not very much time, I'm going to pass this buck
Snipper.
to Sniper. You're not getting a lot of time tonight. I'm sorry for that. I hope you've enjoyed what you've been privy to so far.
Oh, I think it's rather enjoyable. I got to go ahead and be like chat and, watch him fail.
You have to be
Without
the
it
reason
being
why
my
they almost
fault.
died.
They're getting smarter. You can see it. There's a certain sensibility about it, and they're starting to gather these things. It's good, though, because they could almost see it happening before I was able to finish, which is, it's that learning process. But
Oh, I saw things going wrong a whole hell of a lot earlier.
you're carted back to the guardhouse. I'm going
Mhm.
to take us back. I'm going to change the music because we're no longer in hell, as we see, and I'm going to put you in town. All right, friendo. Let's go with here. The Blue Duke, Kiana Green, the two unnamed half-orcs, and Jared Skellering. They move you to the guardhouse. You are a lead prisoner, or a primary suspect in the death of more than a few people. Jared explains to you, you could have just told me. You could have come to me and talked about some of these things. Not that I expected you to be completely honest. Hell, when I walked around with Klaus, I wasn't all that honest myself, but I still had integrity. I see that things don't really change much when in certain company.
Easy as it would be to go ahead and just blame it on them. No. Mostly the reason I didn't come to you is because of the blonde bitch.
Kiana doesn't make decisions here. I make the decisions, regardless of how she feels about it, which I know she feels about it. I can see it on her face. She feels a lot, and there's a lot of hatred. But see, you've ran. You ran, Jacob. You ran from her, of all people. She's like the hound of this town, man. She doesn't let anybody get away. And I don't know what's changed in her. but she has been expressly good at finding targets. You made yourself an enemy.
Master Skellering.
Just call me
Have
Jared. I don't deal with pleasantries that well. It doesn't fit me.
Hey, nobility and all. He'll kind of glance back and kind of note how close he is, how close Kiana is, and just kind of lean in. Have I ever before given you any issue or umbrage about coming quietly to the jails? I mean, before coming across this group, you had to let me out.
I'll be honest, you and your lot have been quick to hide a lot until it just slips. Now, I'm not opposed to the idea of a white lie here or there. I don't exactly see withholding the truth as tantamount to lying. Sometimes it's better to keep people in the dark, and I get that. But of all people, hide it from the nobles. You don't have to hide it from me. I was like you. I took one on the chin and I kept going. And now I'm here, doing this. And it doesn't exactly suit me, but we are what life makes of us. This is the hand I've been dealt. And you've hurt people, Jacob. Even if you didn't mean to. You've hurt people. Do you even know what you're being charged with?
Honestly, I have no idea. Because the only thing I know is I ran from Kiana Green when I ran from Kiana when she started doing things strange. Things I've never seen her do before. There's a reason I ran. There's a reason I don't trust her.
You don't have to trust her.
Well, by extension, if I can't trust her, I can't really trust you now, can I?
Yes. I am not Kiana Green. And she listens to my suggestion, my demands of this town. If they are in the guard, they follow me, including the Blue Duke. And he says that in front of Kiana and the Duke. And you see that there is grimace that falls over both of their faces. They do not like being told this, but they don't argue it. They listen to my demand. Now, I don't get to call all the shots, because I listen to someone above me. Which, unfortunately, is those nobles that you talked about. Now I have to enact a tax on the people. Papers came down. And it was swift. I just talked to Ulhime. And he told me that it was coming through. I didn't expect it to come through this fast. You know what they're calling it? They're calling it Helm's Taxation Initiative.
Helm's Tech.
Yeah. I don't know what to make of it. Because I don't know who the hell Helm is. I don't know why they just don't call it Ulhime's Taxation Initiative. That would make more sense.
Think of it as an alias. He's got this strange impression that he's a god. Credit where it's due, though. He can do some impressive tricks. Regardless.
I've heard much the same about yourself, hence why you wound up in those manacles. We don't have too many of those. And not too many people have been locked up in them, so you're kind of a celebrity in these parts. I think you're the 4th or the 5th.
I've been in them before, but since you bring it up, just what am I being charged for, specifically?
Multiple counts of murder. The worst crime. Yes.
How many people are they saying I murdered?
At least 3.
3? Who?
You'll have to hear it on your trial.
Oh, don't start that. I at least have the right to go ahead and know who I supposedly killed.
Kiana chimes in. You know who you killed. I found you at the church. You walked away from those bodies. You tried telling me that the boy killed the man. And then you ran. You could have stayed, thus confirming your story further. But you ran.
Yes, I tend to run from things that can go ahead and cast spells without so much as an utterance or gesture.
She looks at you confused. I cast no spell. Nothing of the sort. I've never had the talent. Demon's blood doesn't... Demon doesn't run in my blood.
Okay, 1, racist as hell. 2, the reason I ran is because you put me in a zone of truth. Moreover, your eyes turned black. There's a reason I ran, Kiana.
Jared leans over. Is that true? Suddenly you've got magic. Like the less of those wand-wielding wimps.
Well, yeah,
No,
I
sir.
went ahead and told Dougalbras to tell you.
No, sir, that's not the case. Never lied to me before. And she was honest to my brother. To a fault.
Yeah, well, you go ahead and find me a zone of truth to stand in, and I'll go ahead and prove it. That I will admit to. Happily.
Well, there is at least...
Moreover, I'll admit I didn't kill that man in the church.
Maybe you didn't. But there is at least a third person that is declared dead by your hand.
And who would that be?
He kind of pauses for a moment. Jacob, why should I tell you? Why should I tell you at all? And more importantly, do you want to know who's accusing you? Or who you killed? Because you probably know who.
Well, I would assume that at least my accusers I'm going to go ahead and face before the trial. I figure they'll go ahead and come by the jails. I want to know who I'm being blamed for killing. At least then I can go ahead and ascertain just what, when, and what circumstances. There's only one death that hangs around my head. The boy, Jimothy.
And Fiora Malek has stepped forward to declare that you killed her son, Jimothy Malek. Griffin couldn't do it. He said he wouldn't do it.
Well, that's because Griffin knew the circumstances.
So then you admit.
I'll admit that I am, yes, responsible for the death of Jimothy. I will go ahead and wholeheartedly admit that, yes, I am responsible for that. I went through hell to go ahead and rescue the boy. Ulhime and I both.
But at the snap of the fingers, you put him in his death.
Yes. A spell got away from me. I didn't catch that he was in my blind spot. I openly admit that. But in defense of the city and the tavern, there's a reason I was not accused before. As far as his mother is concerned, I'm also responsible for her return. That the woman holds me any enmity, she has the right.
Listen, I don't know. I don't know what you have done or what you haven't done. I just know what I'm supposed to do. And you may be a good person in there still. It's not my job to determine that. It's my job to bring you in to be judged. But do you think saving people begets you of your crimes? That suddenly you're just free and clear because it got away from me?
No. But I do believe that there are cases where there are such things as innocent bystanders. Are you trying to tell me that your blade has never once swung in accident and harmed somebody else?
It has. It has many times. But I made it up to those people. I think that's the difference between you and me. Is that I made it up to those people that I hurt. And I think you didn't make it up to them, or at least enough so. So maybe you did. Maybe you did return. Maybe you did return Griffin's wife. And maybe you made him happy in that moment. But you sure pissed someone off. Because they are not forgiving you.
For that, I don't ask forgiveness. That was entirely on my head. I'm not asking for it to be forgotten either. Had you come to me, speaking of Jimothy, I'd have happily put these on myself. But multiple murders, especially in the wake of that.
I don't know. But Kiana has named you. Kiana has named you as a murderer. She said that you had admitted to accidentally killing a boy. Or that maybe you had stabbed him or something. I don't know. That you tried to see it as you were doing what was right to protect yourself. Or she said it looked too fishy. That it looked criminal in intention and activity.
Well, yes, walking in somewhere and finding two people stabbed multiple times, that would go ahead and strike as fishy.
You see where I stand.
No, I see where you stand. And note, I have no problem whatsoever with you, Jared. What I have a problem with is that I can't trust the people under you. And because I can't trust the people under you, I can't trust that I can come to you without being interceded. I went ahead and told the only thing I know that has ties to you about what was going on. I tried to get you warning so that you could go ahead and investigate whatever's going on with Kiana. After you got to the bottom of that, I did plan to go ahead and speak with you about the Temple of Ouijas.
Look, I don't even want to know about that yet. That's coming. I bet something died there. Several somethings likely. But I don't even want to pretend to know yet. I'll just add it on to the docket of other bullshit that I've got to check.
Yeah. True, we have been making a little bit of work for you lately.
Man, as he says that, he turns, dipping his head, and he stops. And he asks for the Duke and for Kiana and the other guards to go on. He just waves them back. Just give me some space. And they do. They start to kind of walk back. Not too far. Not far enough that would allow you to really get away. And when he does that, he says, "You're fucking right, you have. You don't need to worry about them so much. Listen, mistakes happen. You're going to hurt people. You're in this line of work, and you're going to make mistakes. But you gotta own up to them. You can't bolt away when things are going pear-shaped. You can't do it."
Yes, because being forthright with the law has always worked out well for my people.
What do you mean? What do you mean your people?
I mean my people.
You mean spellcasters?
No, tieflings. Don't.
I've never done a single thing to a tiefling that wasn't accused, trialed, and judged appropriately. See, I think that's your problem. And he kind of puts his finger in your skin. You hang on your own race as a problem. I have a problem with you casting spells. Not a problem with your skin. Because somewhere in there, and he hits you one last time enough to kind of rock you back, you're still half human, you idiot. And that's part of the human problem. We all make mistakes, but you gotta own up to it. And this is just a mistake. And if it's just a mistake and you're not actually a murderer, then you're not gonna die. Right? Nothing's gonna happen. You're not gonna have to worry about time or anything like that.
All right. You have a few points. I have a few of my own. On this, we'll just agree to disagree. But I will say, you, I trust. You've treated me with respect. Mea culpa, I'll come quietly for you. But I would just ask that you go ahead and take a closer look at who you've got working with you. Now let's go ahead and just get my ass into a cell.
And I will. I'll do everything in my power, but Kiana's the jailer. She'll take you back there, and I'll make sure to watch as she does it, and then I'll make sure that she hands me the keys. But she's still free to taunt you, because when she's not making her rounds, see, she's watching the prisoners. You're just gonna have to deal with the taunting.
It's not the taunting that I have to worry about.
He looks around for a moment, and then he kind of hits you with another finger, and then he looks over your shoulder to see if anybody says anything. And he quickly does one of these. Brings something over his head and drops it over your neck, putting it inside of your clothes. If she does anything, it'll get stopped. Or it'll at least give you enough of a buffer that it won't happen again, and you can just call out for me. You feel an amulet stick to your chest.
Well, I suppose it's something. Don't suppose you can just take me at my own word and let me out for the night.
Man, that would look really bad. I can't, I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not sorry. If I'm just being honest, I'm not sorry. It's...
Well, you can't blame a guy for asking.
Doesn't bother me at all. Alright, let's go. Come on. Bring it in. And they start following up at this point. Following you. And he's done exactly as he said. He allows you to make his way, or your way to the guardhouse. He steps inside. He sends the Blue Duke on. They remove the manacle from your left hand, and then she does like a tether. It's this weird like twist on your right hand, and it breaks the manacle chain away, so you have one on your hand. It's going to inhibit your spellcasting, at least your somatic components. It's not going to do anything to verbal. You feel your arcane magic begin to return unto you, but it's going to be limited. So you're pretty much stuck to anything that requires verbal. Anything that requires somatic is going to be hindered. He watches. You see his head lean out of his office. She takes you back. And she's not gentle with you. She opens the cell. She puts her hand on your back and gives you a strong enough shove that it sends you sailing into the jail. She locks it up. And she turns to put her face to the bars to say something to you. And you hear, Kiana! She turns rapidly to the right, peering back over. See the sneer fall over her face. And she walks away. Glancing back over her shoulder, she's thumbing the keys. You hear them hand it off. And she begins to return to you, walking back. Where you peer and look, the door shuts. She no longer has the keys. She has no way of getting in short of breaking the lock. Or the bars, which for a strong enough person wouldn't be that difficult. She places her halberd down on the side. She moves up to your bars, and she puts both of her hands on the bars. Have anything to say for yourself? Murderer?
I've been called worse. And he'll go ahead and just settle down, taking a seat on the bed and leaning back on the wall. Go ahead, get it out of your system.
What did you expect me to say? You just expect me to be the type to belittle you, little man, in your cell, knowing that I can't get to you now?
I figured if you were going to waste your breath, you'd be at least a little more clever about it.
I don't have to be clever. I'm smarter than you. You're in jail, and I'm not. And as far as clever goes, you're right not to trust me. I do have magic. But it's not because it's learned. It's not because it's in my blood. It's because I made a deal. And when she blinks, her eyes go black. She blinks again and they return. I made a deal with someone you left behind. With someone you and yours left behind. A demon stuck in a hole, body covered in barbs. When you left the building, you and the rest of your lot, I went inside and it begged me to free it. It begged me to free it. It said, I'll give you anything. And I got what I wanted. I got exactly what I wanted. To see the truth of people. To see the truth in man. To see the fallibilities and their attempts to cover it up. I see through you for all that you are. Your soul is stained black. You're a blight on this town. You're a liar, a thief, and a murderer. You killed that boy and covered it up. You let your magic run wild. You killed the Malek's son because you didn't want to restrict yourself. Restraint's never been your forte, has it? Yeah, I didn't think so. Now, I wish that I could have found you myself, but I didn't think to ask that. That wasn't a part of my bargain. But I don't have to bargain much when you were turned in by Cort, your friend. He gave you up. He told us where to find you. Now that he's knighted, I don't think he's going to be falling too hard for your bullshit anymore. He's a good kid. He's not like you.
On that we agree. So I gotta ask, what did you go ahead and trade for your special eye?
Wouldn't you like to know? That's between me and the Barb Devil. I didn't quite catch his name, but he got mine enough. And I can hear him any time he needs me. I don't work for him. But he tries to turn me. He tries to whisper disgusting, destructive, evil, vile things into my ear. But it doesn't tempt me. Because I have to be strong for the people of Calderon. I have to stop people like you from destroying everything that matters to me. My home. So you'll rot in here for a few days before trial, and I will do everything in my power to make sure that you're hanged, or beheaded, or both. Sleep well. Rest easy, knowing that you can't harm anyone else. And that's where we will end the session.
Dang.
Jesus Christ.
She tossed him in the cage. She's like, DK.
The terrible part is, I think I remember the demon, but that was back during Jared's days.
I don't remember who the fuck you're talking about.
You
There's
remember
the demon and
the one-
the apothecary.
Yeah,
thought
okay,
we let
that's
him
the
go,
one I
though.
thought it was.
I thought
Yep.
I thought Balthar and Klaus were arguing with each other because they wanted to let him go.
No, we
left.
left him. We left him down
You
there.
left him. I wrote that down
Yeah.
so
Oh.
many sessions ago.
Yeah,
I
you
was
guys
thinking
didn't. You
that's who it
guys
was, and
wouldn't
I was like,
let me
"Is that
kill him.
Devil?"
You just left him.
Yep. Yep.
So did he turned invisible then? So we just couldn't see him, or because he disappeared? Like he wasn't there when we were.
No, he was still there.
He was still there.
We just didn't kill him, and we didn't let
No,
him.
we genuinely just left him down
You
there.
fucking
to
left
die.
him. Yeah.
We said his name, and he said that he'd return to his plane after X amount of weeks.
Yep.
This was
Yeah.
Deo's days.
And we were like,
That's
"Cool,
right.
later, fam," and we closed the door, and we were just
Yeah.
like, "Peace."
But if someone were to come and free him from his binds, just to roam free in whatever plane he wanted to,
And
then
he did that.
that would have been a
And-
better
and
choice.
I
That's why we
think
sealed it back over again.
And I want to say that even way back then, Kiana came around and saw us leaving that building.
Kiana was
Yeah.
there. You guys
Yeah.
heard noise outside of the building, and she realized that she made noise. So she went and hid around the corner, and you guys just peeked out to see if anybody was there. And you didn't see anything. So she went back after you had left.
Yeah, because
It wasn't Thelsa's days, so it's all good.
Yeah.
It was Dea. I don't have any
That
wrong
was
on my body.
At first, I
Sakana?
thought she went ahead and made a deal with Mephistopheles.
Or no, that
but-
would have been Rasasu, wouldn't it have been?
But
I
that
don't know.
explains why she's been more violent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably why she had the cut ear.
Probably also why she.
That's a
fucking
safe
hates
assumption.
you.
Yep. That's a safe assumption.
You know,
Oh, she had to give up her ear because that way he could whisper to her.
Yeah.
kind of thing?
Yep.
That makes sense.
yeah. Oh man, I should have put that together back at the church.
She said,
But I haven't.
he tries to whisper things to me. He tries to turn me, to break me. I can't be
Yeah.
broken.
I
Yeah.
haven't
Yeah.
thought of that
yeah,
shit in ages.
And-
no,
Just to be clear, for those of you that are curious,
We're not. Don't worry.
Kiana is an NPC character that someone created from supporting the Patreon. So if you're
Forever.
curious as to how to make a long and lasting impact in a town, I give you Kiana as a prime example. She has
There's
been either a
actually-
boon or a thorn every time she's around.
yeah,
She
in
was
fact,
cool when
there's-
Rasasu was around.
I want to say there's 3 recurring characters that are NPCs
You
that
still,
we keep running into.
you still have Caitlyn, but we haven't seen her in a while.
Yeah.
But we have Charlie
She,
and
she
Sasha.
left the town. She's selling
Yeah.
flowers elsewhere.
Yeah. But we still have Charlie and Sasha. Those are also Patreon characters.
True.
It's true. It's very true. All right.
Patreon saints, if you will.
All right, lads. That's it for tonight. Thank you, everybody that was that decided to stop in and watch tonight. I do appreciate your attendance. You are good people, scholars, gentlemen, the whole 9. I appreciate you. Is there anything else that kind of needs to be said? I guess tomorrow is the season premiere. I guess season 1 or season 2, episode 1 of Carrying Crown is tomorrow. That'll be returning with Ulhime, DJ Tech Live, Tashnar, and Lily Vanilli, plus one surprise guest. Yep, one surprise guest. Hey, Di, I did see her. In fact, let's go back and take a look. Die Fear, sub for 7 months. Fioris gifting a sub to the Sniper Goat, 21 months. Yogi Joey, or is it Jogi Joey? Delaxsec with a host. Elusive for 1,500 bits. Courier 3 donated $2. Ripbit Boss. I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys all of your rep now. Just throw out a little bit.
She goes by Joji.
I will say this much.
Is it Joji?
though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Joji then. Furious gifting a sub to Piercington and Zenoma Eldritch for 37 bits. Yeah, it looks good. Thank you guys for absolutely everything. I appreciate that. Friday we're doing a probably pretty close to a 12-hour stream. It's gonna be a birthday stream. I got my my little birthday hat here. Here, let me take this off. Birthday Bob. I can't hear anything now, so this is excellent.
Definitely doesn't look like a sparkly dunce cat.
It's my birthday hat, you fucker.
That's what birthday hats look like here in North America.
That's right.
Yeah, we don't all get moose ears.
Can we
Yeah.
use... God damn it.
Fun fact.
Can we use wild magic for carrying crown? I don't know. Maybe? We'll see. We'll see what happens. It's going to be session 1. We're going to have an introduction of a new PC. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Thank you, Rio. I appreciate that.
I will say this much, though. As much as you guys might like watching us and all of our shenanigans, we're like almost, what? Oh, 153. Of course, 153 sessions in. When it comes to the Carrion Crown crew, they were all brand new pennies when they got in, and they have been a blast to watch. I highly recommend them.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. Yeah. Very good time. And remember, guys, we are still trying to push. I'm going to go ahead and turn to this real quick. Right here. Bam. Down below, we're still trying to punish this bar. It's at 9:52. If we can hit our goal of 1850, then you guys can choose what color hair I get. And I'm going to be getting my hair cut tomorrow, so no more hat for me in the immediate short run. Hat's going to have to sit off to the side, so consider supporting. And if we can make it so, then dope. Beard's going to get cut, eyebrows going to get all taken care of, haircut and all that jazz. So yeah, do yourselves a favor. Consider supporting on either Patreon or here. Click into some bits, make some rep be shared everywhere, and we'll see what kind of shenanigans we can get into this week. So thanks, guys, for absolutely everything. I'm going to go do a small, like, post-show talk with the boys, and yeah, we'll see what kind of trouble we can get into. Take it easy, guys. Peace. We're out of here.